here is hoping for a good rainstorm. I don't know about you, but I'm always hoping for a good rainstorm, and here's why. After a rainstorm, somehow, there is always guaranteed to be a rainbow. Now, this is a fact of science, but it is also a fact of life. In fact, let me tell you about one of my earliest rainstorms and the beautiful rainbow that came out of it. For me, it all started in the 6th grade. Now, let's just say that the 6th grade were a big change that I was not ready for. 6th grade was indeed my rainstorm. But in the end, I did get my rainbow. So one day, my teacher assigned us a book report, and we had to go in front of, we had to read all the biographies, and then we had to go in front of the class as if we were the individual who read about. Now, a week before this, my teacher's assistant came up to me and she said, "Rachel, you need to read this book." And the name of the book was Who Was Henry Keller? Now, for those of you who do not know, Henry Keller was the individual who was blind and deaf, and she went on to advocate for people with disabilities. Now, before this, I knew that I had the disabilities, but I did not yet identify myself as the disabled community. But after reading the book, after actually becoming Henry Keller, I, Rachel Ferreira, began to identify myself as part of the disabled community. 6th grade was indeed my rainstorm, but that book entitled Who Was Henry Keller? That was my rainbow. Now, fast forward to my senior year of high school. Yes, another rainstorm. But you know what? But I did get my rainbow. So there was faculty and staff at my high school who didn't believe I can handle going to a 4-year college. But you know what? Throughout my entire life, my mom and my dad had always been my constant rainbows. And they said, "Rachel, if you want to go to the University of Rhode Island, we will figure a way for you to be successful at the University of Rhode Island." So, with my mom and dad by my side, I began to apply for college. Now, we all know that the first thing you need to do when you apply to any college is that you need to write your college essay. And I wrote mine on how I wanted to continue my journey to overcome adversity right here at URI. And from this essay came my personal value statement, and it goes a little something like this. My disabilities does not limit me, but rather inspires who I am and what I have to offer the world. So, who am I? My name is Ferreira. I'm a senior right here at the beautiful University of Rhode Island. I'm a health study major with a minor in leadership studies. I also sit on the President's Commission for People with Disabilities. So back in high school, my goal was to get into the University of Rhode Island. Now, as a senior, my goal is to graduate the University of Rhode Island. I'm thinking of the University of Rhode Island. One of the things that I love is the diversity you get on campus. And you can tell that diversity is a core value here at UI. We even have an entire week dedicated to diversity. And one night, they got me thinking, race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, they are all of this umbrella term we call diversity. But with disability, it is out in left field. My friends, it is time to change it up. It is time to make disability a key part of diversity. Now, let's just take that word, disability, for a minute. When you hear it, what do you think of? Not being able, needing help, work, abuse, medicine. Okay, stop. I don't know about you, but that is way too much negativity for me. My friends, I hope you like math. Because I have a little math equation for you all. What do you get when you take the word disability? You take away the S and you add the F. You get disability. So what does have to happen? You went from disability to not being able to disability to being disabled. Now, let me change this with a personal example. As a college student with a disability, I'm always trying to climb the ladder of independence. And to do this, I said, hey, I'm going to take a cooking class. Now, before you all freak out, I still have all my fingers. And I did not kill anyone yet. Has anyone seen my roommate Dina? Oh, there you are. Okay, we're good for now. So anyway, I'm taking this cooking class, and on this particular night, we're making raviolis. And you know, the last thing you need to do when you make raviolis, you need to take the big hot pot or boiling water. You need to carry it over. You need to dump the raviolis out in the sink. My teacher is saying this to me, and I just look at her. How am I supposed to do that? I said, here's how I do it. Instead of dumping the raviolis out, I took a spoon and I scooped the raviolis out. What happens in the end? I made very early. I did it a little differently. Disability. So how do I take the idea of diversity and disability? How am I going to change it up for my URI community? My friends, let's go back to my role model for a minute. Helen Keller. Helen Keller was nothing without her teacher and mentor, Anne Sullivan. Similarly, I will not be anything without my teacher and mentor, Dr. Leslie Mara. Dr. Martin and I have been working together for a little under 6 years. And with the incredible woman by my side, I have gone on to create disability trainings. I have done one in dining and went in the leadership department. I'm also in constant communication with other departments and organizations to set up disability training for them as well. But my friends, I cannot do this alone. So my final question is, how can we, as a community, come together and change the way disability is viewed in everyday society? My friends, take an example from my parents and my mentor. Be someone's rainbow. You might just find your own rainbow. And don't forget to hashtag the word disability. It means disability. My name is Ferreira, and my disability does not limit me, but rather inspires who I am and what I have to offer the world. Thank you.